Good evening. Laura Donnelly with Strange and Interesting Times, day 229. So, today I wanted to talk about intentions and how sometimes we have the best intentions and things don't work out, or even produces a bad result. And other times, maybe our intentions are not so great, maybe not terrible, but maybe not so great, and they produce a great result. And how do we deal with that? And when a bad thing happens, we apologize. We say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that to happen, or I wasn't intending to create that result, but it happened. And so, is what happened more important than what you intended? Or is what you intended more important than what happened? I don't know. So, one thing that I do with most everything, as you may know by now, is I pay attention to the ease in myself. So when I want to do something, I check in. So I have an intention to do something. So intention, and then I push forward. That wasn't too easy. So then I check in with the ease in my system, and I think, what wasn't, what would make my intention a little calmer, a little easier. By ease, I don't mean like laid back and sitting on the couch eating bonbons, but I mean flow, so that it just flows smoothly. And if I do this, if I pay attention at the beginning stage of creating an intention, generally the intention works out. Sometimes I have an idea and it feels great, and I do it really fast without checking for ease, and it doesn't seem like it's a problem, but somebody else takes it the wrong way, takes the energy the wrong way, takes the event the wrong way. And then I had an event, I had an intention, and it produced a different result than the one I thought. But knowing that I just had this flash of inspiration and do that, then I can think, did that produce what I intended for it to produce? And so I had one of these flashes of intuition when I started Strange and Interesting Times. I was like, I'm just going to come on and talk a little bit every day and share with people the ideas and the way I look at the world, using ease as the basic premise, so that if these ideas help other people, then I'm really happy. If they don't help people, then you don't have to do them. See, I mean, that's free choice. That's the really cool thing about free choice. So I just said, when I started, I said, well, I'll do this until COVID comes to an end, or the shutdowns come to an end. And then the thing just kind of keeps going like a roller coaster. And so tomorrow is day 230. Is that right? Yeah. Today is 229, so 230. And I think I'm going to pause after day 230. And the reason is, I think that there is some momentum building for some kind and compassionate strategies for dealing with what's going on, rather than this kind of extreme close down, open up, do this, do that. That's kind of panic thinking, that back and forth. And I put a link for you guys in the comments if you wanted to read it, of some scientific ideas and some doctors that study epidemics and virology, who have been looking at everything since this all started and assessing the data as it's changing. And one of the things that this doctor said was that people are still reacting now, 9 months, almost 9 months later, or 8 months, whatever it is, as if everything is the same as it was in March. And instead, there's a whole lot more information. So, with this more information, I think I'm a hopeful that things will start to shift. And when that does, I'll reassess how strange and interesting the times are. So I thought I would take a break and let you guys read that. I put in the comments yesterday a link to 30 Days of Ease. If you hadn't done that, that's a fun email series I created that has just an image and a quote every day to inspire some ease and calmness and kind of a spacious feeling in your life. And you're welcome to sign up for that. It's free, comes to your email. It's super easy. There's also a self-care challenge that I'm doing with my friend Imogen, and that starts on December 7th, and it's just 7 days, super easy. We call it the easy peasy, itsy bitsy bite-sized self-care challenge because we like to have fun. And so these self-care tips you can do anywhere, anytime, in less than a minute. So you could do them 5 or 10 times a day and take a little bit better care of yourself 5 or 10 times a day. So we're doing those things, and I want to share them with you. And this idea of intention, my intention when I started was to just provide some different points of view so that people could use some of these ideas to calm down and look at things differently, maybe to find moments of joy in this strangeness, and to find moments of gratitude for things that we do have, that we still have, that we're able to do, and maybe some new things like meals together that had, because of the busyness of life, become a thing that people weren't able to do very much. And so when everybody was kind of locked down, so we have meals together. People start cooking again. What a fun thing. It could be a burden, but it could also be a joyful and fun shared experience, family time. So those were some of the ideas that I was threading through here. And a lot of times I talked about emotions and how we can work with our emotions, how we can feel them, but not be carried away by them. So I think that this brings back to my thing when we have a good intention that produces an unexpected or not great result, or when we have a kind of, well, maybe I'm going to do this because if I do this, I'll get X, Y, and Z out of it. And that was your reasoning, not because it would be nice for someone else. And it maybe made somebody else's day, that action that you took. Then we have this confusion because A doesn't automatically create B. But we scan for ease. We can say, wow, that was an interesting result. I wasn't expecting that result. And then we sit there with that a minute. We say, I wonder, just a question instead of a judgment, instead of feeling bad. I wonder if there was a misalignment in my intention in the beginning. For me, this would be, did I just have an idea and flash on it and move too fast? That's what I usually do. Or did I misinterpret somebody else's comment and I was responding to that comment, but I didn't understand what they really meant? And so what I said seemed to them out of phase, out of sequence. And then I can be upset about this. I can worry about it all night. I can or I can just say, well, doggone it. The best laid plans of mice and men often go astray. And the best ideas that Laura has sometimes go astray. And so if I lighten up in my response and I acknowledge that this had an unintended consequence. Once I made a whole dance called Unintended Consequences. It was really fun. I might find a picture of it and put it in here because I really, really liked that dance. Actually, well, the dance was really cool, but making the dance was really super fun with the dancers. That was an unintended byproduct, an unintended good byproduct. One of the unintended consequences that wasn't so good was that the piece got so much attention and positive attention, and it completely kind of blew people away. I had a meeting with some people, and they said, "You put too many people on the stage." And I said, "What do you mean?" "Well, you put 20 people on the stage." And I said, "I don't think so. I had 16 dancers." "No, there were 20 people there." I said, "Well, I did do this little chorus thing, and they went into the chorus and they came out of the chorus, and we had little solos and episodes." "No, you had 20 people." And I said, "Well, I think if you look at my expenses, I bought 16 costumes." And because I went back down, because I didn't have 20 dancers on the stage, they were embarrassed. They were embarrassed that they didn't know what they had seen. They were embarrassed that they didn't look at the program and count the bodies of, count the names so you know how many dancers there were. But I didn't care that they were embarrassed. I kind of cared about being right, which maybe wasn't so great. So now I don't care so much about being right. I care about being easy. And what happens to me when I have to be right? What happens to the ease in me when I am misunderstood? Oh, I hate that one. What happens to the ease in me when I am confronted with somebody who has a false idea? How do I deal with that? Are there universal? Actually, I heard this guy talking last night. My husband watches these cool things on the internet, so then I hear them, and I don't always see them. And he was talking about science, and he was saying, different countries have different cultures, they have different foods, they have different languages, they use different money, but science, the laws of science are the same. Gravity is the same in Africa as it is in South America, as it is in Canada, as it is in Russia. The laws of science, he says, this guy believes, are universal, and that everybody is dealing with the same concepts and the same languages when they're talking about science. So that's interesting. See, now we're going to loop back to COVID. That's interesting. So this thing that I put in the discussion part of the post, not the discussion, the description, sorry, it's a D word. They have 43,000 medical professionals who are proposing some changes in how people all around the world deal with the virus based on the new information that has been discovered since March. So it wasn't that the guy who wrote the article is not the guy I heard talking on the computer, but I think it was interesting how the two things kind of relate and come together. So one of the most important things, I think, is kindness to ourselves and others. And I find when somebody's not kind to me, it's pretty hard for me to be kind to them. That's just not my default response. If somebody's kind to me, it's easy for me to be kind back to them. If they are neutral, it's easy for me to be kind to them. If they are what I call testy, snippy, a bully, downright mean, really, really hard for me to be kind to them. So I be kind to myself first. And sometimes what I need to do is remove myself from that person's presence. And that is the kindest thing I can do for myself and for them. So now they might not like it. They might feel abandoned, in that moment. That's maybe an unintended consequence. But if I start from an intention of kindness to myself, because the ease in me I'm able to share with other people just by being at ease in myself. And so for the same way, if I'm at ease, like if somebody is mean to me and I'm not eat, I feel it in different parts of my body. I get ready, I brace, my armor comes up. Where's some ease in me? I can find some ease. I can let the armor go, and I can know if I need to move out of the situation. And I can do it with kindness instead of, from a place of anger, like stalking away and slamming the door. Doesn't produce the same result. It gets me out of the situation, but in a very different way. So my experiment that I give to you, if you wish to play with it, is to see what happens if you start with kindness and a sense of ease in yourself for whatever you decide to do. And if your action produces an unexpected result, and one that it's clear hurt somebody else's feelings, can you still be kind to yourself and at ease and make a gentle apology and move forward and on? If they want to stay hurt, you can't do anything about that. If they want to stay angry, you can't do anything about that. If they want to hold on to their misunderstanding of your idea or your thought or your gesture or action, they're going to hold on to that. Just like those people insisted that I had 20 people on stage. And it didn't really matter what I said. And I was probably kind of flipped by the time I got to the costumes because sometimes it's fun to be flip. But lately I'm looking at the world and sometimes a flip response is not received well. And that my sense of humor is not everyone's sense of humor. So again, I just come back to myself and I say, that person doesn't get my jokes. Maybe I won't tell them my jokes next time. And so I come back and I say, that's unfortunate, but I can still be kind to myself. I can still extend kindness to them, and I can be at ease in myself. So that's my main thing from the whole Strange and Interesting Times, from starting all the way back in March. Tomorrow will be my last one for a time. I will be live in the Healing Path with various guests at different times. And I will probably show up once a week, but I'll have to figure out when, because this was so easy going every day. Because then I just knew I was showing up every day. Didn't have to pick Wednesday or Friday or Saturday. It's just, oh man. Oh, how easy can I be on myself while I make that decision? We'll have to see. So thank you for watching this time and all the times before. And I will see you tomorrow. Take good care.